Oh, it was an amazing feeling. Like when the book arrived in the mail, and holding that in my hands, that was the outcome achieved, and it was, it's a very hard feeling to describe. But for any writer out there who knows that publishing your first book is one of the first major milestones you need to achieve, and it's an amazing feeling of pride and accomplishment. Also a little bit nerve-wracking because it's like, all right, now my idea's out there for the world to see. I hope everyone likes it, No turning back now. So,
well, I think anybody that applies it will find out the truth, and that is that it works and that they'll be a great success. But I think the people that would see you as the greatest success would be your family. Your wife would be so proud of you, your mum and your dad and, your brothers and sisters and friends. They would think, gosh, there's not many people that would apply themselves to put all this wonderful thought process and application to a book.
Yeah, look, I've had a lot of support along the way, and my parents especially have been great influences on me and very encouraging all my life to just go out there and follow your passions. And my mum has been a great example of that. My friends have been holding me accountable and saying, mate, when are you going to finally write that book? They've been hounding me for years, and I'm like, I'm getting to it. So, look, our friends and family are such an important part. And I've been really blessed to have such supportive family and friends sort of encourage me along the way and, see it through with me as well. Because, a lot of the time we're working on these things by ourselves and we're wondering, I'm doing this for me, but, it feels like I'm not doing it for anyone else. But when you've got someone else who wants to see it happen for you, that really helps you with your motivation too.
Now, you've launched the book on Facebook. What other promotions are you doing?
At this stage, a bit of radio. I've got another radio interview coming up next month, and I'll be sort of releasing some articles that promote the book and link to the book. In a few months' time, I'm planning to have the physical book launch of setting goals using the smartest method, and I'll also be running a seminar at our next event talking about how to set goals using the smartest method as well. So all of those details are on my Facebook page and also on the Smartest Method blog, which I add to daily, so people can keep in touch on there on all the upcoming events. So there's lots of big plans. The book is really just the beginning of it all. There's lots more to come.
Oh, it's so exciting, Brian. And I have to say, from the minute I met you, I just thought, gosh, I was so impressed. I just thought you had what it took, and I can only imagine how well you resonate with our youth. And I think that's really the demographic we need to be working with at this stage, because as you said, they're our adults and leaders of the future. We need to make sure that we nurture them through a difficult time.
Absolutely.
Yep. Now, Brian, just before I ask you some personal questions, I just wondered, can you tell people, please, our wonderful listeners, how they can get a hold of your book, find out more about you?
Yep, sure. So I'm on all over social media. So I have a few different Facebook pages. I've got a couple of blogs. To order the book online, it was published through a company called Ex Libris, which is XLIBRIS. And the Ex Libris website has an online bookstore. If you just go to the search function, type in setting goals using the smartest method, it'll take you straight to the book. If that's a little tricky to navigate, you can go to the smartestmethod.blogspot.com, and then the section on there titled The Book has the link to order the book directly, and also the links to all my Facebook pages as well. And I'm happy also for people just to email me directly, info@brianmaclear.com, and I can point them in the right way so they can get their hands on a copy of the book.
Fantastic. Brian, we'll come back to those contact details shortly, and just very quickly, if you don't mind me asking a couple of questions so our listeners to just get to know a little bit more about you.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us who your favourite actor or actress is?
Oh, I love those questions. Favourite actor?
Is that tongue-in-cheek?
No, I do genuinely like him, yeah. I've got a few. One of my favourite actors, I'd have to say, is Russell Crowe.
Yes.
It's not really for how he is in his personal life, because he's a bit of a roughneck, but definitely as an actor.
Brilliant actor, isn't he?
He's a brilliant actor, and the way he plays his characters, I think, is awesome. So Russell Crowe's one definitely right up there.
And your favourite band, artist or classical performer?
favourite band. I've actually liked the same band since I was about 12, and that is Pearl Jam. My older sister introduced me to them just after they'd come to Australia, and it was just Pearl Jam mania back in the early 90s, and I've just kind of grown up with them and bought all their albums and seen them in concert a few times. And, yeah, big fan of Pearl Jam, and a couple others. I like the old stuff as well, like Fleetwood Mac and Van Morrison and, the Chieftains as well. They're an Irish band.
Yeah, no, the Chieftains. They're all good, all great performers. Your favourite sport, recreational activity?
Well, I'm not a big footy fan, which is surprising because I live in Melbourne, but I love cricket. I'm mad about the cricket. Like a bit of soccer as well, and, recreationally I like to go for, like long walks and hikes where I can, and a bit of camping as well is always good. Fantastic.
Your favourite book or author?
Favourite book, it jumps around between two. I'd say mainly because it's helped me write my book. Is a book called On Writing, a memoir of the craft, which is actually written by Stephen King. And he's known for writing horror stories, but years and years ago, you may remember, he was hit by a car walking down the street, and he was very badly injured and almost killed him. And he sort of had this epiphany. He's like, right, I need to kind of share my life with people. I could have been killed then. So he wrote this book about how he became a writer. And for anyone who wants to be a writer, get your hands on a copy, and it's just really practical and teaches you how to write and how to really get in contact with your own voice. And it's just an amazing book. I've probably read it about 4 or 5 times. I get something different from it every time.
No, gee, glad I asked you that question. That's fantastic. Your favourite food?
That's easy. Probably pizza.
It's nice and simple. If you could have dinner with one person, Brian, who would it be?
I'd probably say Steven Spielberg, I think. I'm also a big movie buff, and I think his way he makes movies is just pretty incredible. And, the type of movies he's made, I'd love to just sit down with him and ask him, what's your next movie going to be, and what's the future of movies look like, because he's the master of filmmaking. So
I don't think he gets the accolades he deserves either.
Not always, no. He'll probably get some Lifetime Achievement Award, but, one of those directors that's so good they don't give him the little awards, they just give him the big award at the end of the day.
It certainly deserve that, I think. Now, just very quickly, your hopes, personal hopes and aspirations for the future?
That's a big question. I'd say I'd like to make a living as a writer. I've got a few more book ideas I'm going to be working on, and just continue working as a coach and build my coaching business. Lots more travel, and just lots of good times.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What's one thing about you, Brian, that not many people know?
Yeah, I thought about this question, and I've been trying to think about something that not many people would know. And what I thought of was that about 10 years ago, I was actually an extra in an Australian movie called Josh Jarman. It's a very little-known film. It was only released on a very sort of small, independent scale. But it's got the actor Marcus Graham in it, who a lot of people will know. He was on Home and Away recently. And it's a story about this guy who writes plays that nobody comes to see, but then he gets really successful. So they put this ad out in the Herald Sun saying we need 300 extras for this scene at the Malthouse Theatre in South Bank. So off I went, and we spent the whole day there and got to meet the cast and director, and they shouted all of us food. It was a pretty cool experience. And then finally they ushered us into the theatre for about 20 minutes to film this little scene. And if anyone can get their hands on a copy of the DVD, you can actually see me on screen for about 1.7 seconds. If you look closely or pause it, you can tell it's me. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, I'd like to show that to friends. And, like they miss it, I have to quite often skip back and pause it to say, hey, that's me.
Now, just finally, who is your woman of today, Brian? Someone who has or does inspire you?
There's probably a few, to be honest. Firstly, I'd say I think my wife inspires me a lot. She's a very grounded and very honest person. She's there for me through thick and thin, and it's been a real journey. And she's always supportive of me as I work away on my goals and everything. And secondly, it would have to be my mum, Kathleen MacLear, who has followed her passions since she was a child and has been involved in the world of Irish dancing all her life and made a big impact there, and also really involved in the local community as well, and she's always been a great support and really encouraging of me to sort of follow my dreams. So, yeah, those would be the two important women in my life.
Two fabulous women, Brian. And on that note, I'm sorry, we are out of time, but could you just provide your contact details again?
Sure.
So if anybody's interested in purchasing The Smartest Method, written by Brian McAleer, that was released this week, they can contact you by...
They can email me, info@brianmcaleer.com. So that's Brian with an I, MCALEER. And the method is thesmartestmethod.blogspot.com, and all the information is there on how to contact me and how to order the book.
Well, Brian, you're an absolute inspiration. I wish you every success, and please keep in contact because we'd love to know how the sales of the book are going and when the next book's coming up.
Thank you, Amanda, and thank you for this opportunity to speak with you today and with your listeners. Thanks very much. I really enjoyed it.
Well, thank you for being on The Women of Today. Bye-bye,
My pleasure.
Brian. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.